Outbound lead generation is that. What I mean is you do a lot of things, but at the end of the day, you just don't generate leads predictably. You try different approaches, different templates, different tools, different platforms, and so on and so forth. But at the end of the day, you're not getting enough results. And the current situation is all about several things. The first one, there is no clarity on whether your emails are going to spam, and if so, how to fix that. Probably you're writing like not bad emails. Probably you're not wrong with targeting, but you are not quite sure whether your emails are going to spam or not, especially due to the recent changes by Google killing the open tracking pixel, and you don't have any data to see, okay, what's going on with your deliverability. Or the second one, you might be using LinkedIn for your lead generation, but it's too limited. It's not the alternative for cold emailing, and at the same time, it's too risky. I mean, what happens if you make some mistakes and at the end of the day, LinkedIn bans your LinkedIn profile and you might lose everything, right? Or the third thing, there's too much hassle that doesn't bring any results. You try different tools, you follow different people on LinkedIn, you try this, you try that. You're a little bit under stress just because you do a lot of things. You try to implement different strategies, but it's not working. But the worst thing is that you might be getting some replies. As a result, you might be getting some replies. Your reply rate might not be zero, but it leads to $0 generated. And the worst thing, that there is no clarity on how to change it and how to fix it. And it didn't start today. Let me share with you why this is happening like this right now. Back in the days, 5 years ago, all email providers, like back in the days when cold emailing just appeared, of course, the situation was different and it was evolving. More and more tools, more and more competitors on the market, more and more tools came to the market, and so on and so forth. But let's say 5 years ago, there were tons of products for cold emailing, but they all charge you per the mailbox, per seat. And as a result, you couldn't send too many emails. Even though the limit for sending emails was a bit bigger, but you couldn't send too many emails. As a result, you couldn't spam too much because it was not ROI effective. To spam, you had to invest too much resources into that. It all changed when there is a new business model appeared. Back in the days, the cold emailing was less effective, and at that time, you had to send more and more emails. And on the market, on the market, there were new business models. And the new business models was, we are not going to charge you based on the amount of mailboxes you have. We're going to charge you based on the amount of context or emails that you want to send per month. And that opened the Pandora box. It also, on top of that, it was also democratization of all the tools for cold emailing and cold outreach. Imagine right now with just the budget of $100, you can warm up emails, connect LinkedIn, find emails, verify emails, send follow-ups, connect it to a CRM, and so on and so forth. Currently, you can get the power of Zoom Info, Outreach.io, and a few more tools, all combined with a really limited budget, and all opened the Pandora box. Everyone could send cold emails. Everyone started doing that. And the thing is that it was budget saving, it was pretty easy, and you could send so many emails. You could send thousands of cold emails with a budget of just $150 per month. And that might sound like a paradise, right? You might think, oh my God, really? I can send so many emails. Wow, I'm gonna do that. But in reality, it's not. And here is why. When something happens, the ESP email providers started reacting on such a situation. Nobody wants you to become a spammer. Nobody, neither Google, Microsoft, and others. So for example, you might see that if you're sending from Google to Microsoft mailboxes, your deliverability just goes down and you might feel it. If you're sending to Microsoft mailbox without the proper preparation, your emails are most likely are going to be marked as spam. Or another case, Google killed open tracking. So now when in your cold emails, when you try to track who opened your emails or not, they will automatically mark it as spam, or just give people an ability to mark it as spam pretty easily. Or some other changes. They're implementing AI spam detection in their ESP filtering, and so on and so forth. So because a lot of people started sending cold emails, started sending too many emails, ESP started fighting against that. But even though still a lot of people are sending cold emails, and because they started prioritizing the quantity over quality, which was working fine just recently, just right now, but it's not working anymore. And here's why. Imagine when you prioritize quantity over quality, you are usually not relevant, because it's way better for you to send like thousands of emails that are not personalized, that are not relevant. But anyways, you can send that amount of emails and just play in this, game of numbers, and get, even with low conversions, still get leads. Those emails are not personalized, of course. As a result, there are no replies. And you might tell me, hey, Ilya, these are all the problems for spammers, but I am not a spammer. In reality, this pattern killed the whole outbound channel. And here's why. Because people were sending too many cold emails. And like right now, there are just too many, all of those emails, there is too much spam in their people's inboxes. And as a result, if you don't stand out of crowd, there will be no reply, because it's too much. And also you might tell me, hey, but there is cold email, it's not the only one, right? I might tell you, yeah, but what are the alternatives? LinkedIn is so great, but it's different. Even though you can send cold emails, or you can send connection requests on LinkedIn, but it's just different. It's limited and risky. Cold calling, yeah, it might be working, but not for all B2B brands and not for all B2B industries. Or WhatsApp outreach. Yes, WhatsApp might be one of the steps in your outreach or outbound strategy, but definitely you cannot build the whole strategy around WhatsApp outreach, right? So as a result, the current outbound is all about pure personalization, no contact prioritization, not systematic synchronization between different channels, such as LinkedIn and cold emailing, really fragile cold email infrastructure. So you never know whether your emails are going to spam or not, and actually how to fix that. And on top of that, it's all working not as a system. It does on the fundamental level, it's more like just we are setting campaigns, and if it generates some leads, oh, we are happy. If you don't generate any leads, we don't know what to do. It's not a system. It's more like a set of growth hacks and tactics, which is a wrong approach. As a result, I might tell you that the current outbound lead generation is that. Thanks, everyone. That's a Q&A section. I'm finished. No, I'm just joking. The current outbound lead generation is that, unless we reinvent it. That's why, thanks a lot, everyone. Hey, everyone, my name is Ilya, and today we'll go through the Outbound Reinvented Masterclass to go through what is the right way to do outbound right now. And when I, just quickly about myself, why I know something about outbound. Just because I know outbound from three perspectives. The first one, back in the days, I was a part of I was a part of the Labelist team back in the days, and at that time I understood the cold emailing behind the scene. I joined as a cert employee and I left at 10 million in ARR. That was a great journey. I love you guys. That was amazing. I also understood and learned about LinkedIn by being behind the scene, by joining expanded team, one of the best, one of the fastest growing LinkedIn outreach solutions on the market. And also, after all of those journeys, I started our own company. It's called Growth Band, where we help B2B brands with result-driven in-house outbound lead generation systems implementation, and top-class outbound education. So at the end of the day, I know outbound from three perspectives. I know outbound as a part of the provider, so I was helping, and I was a part of different teams who were doing products for outbound niche. I'm sending cold emails for myself, for our own brand, and we help other companies and other B2B brands with our education or with actual services that we provide with. At the end, I know something about outbound. So, and the most important thing is that we've prepared something really, really cool for you. So wait till the end. We are packed with so much information to share with you. So let's go. There are actually three types of the outreach strategy. The first one is with the focus on the quantity. And we all know that it's not working anymore because of spam, because of spam detection, because of it's not personalization, no relevancy. I mean, it's just not working anymore. The second one, and pure focus on quantity. Of course, you have to do things on scale, but when we focus a lot on the quantity, it's just not working anymore. Or you might tell me, yeah, let's just focus on the quality. And in this case, I might tell you, yes, you're absolutely right. Only if your average contract value is so high, so you can justify working on focusing on quality only. This is the account-based marketing. And of course, outbound is the part of the account-based marketing. And you can implement it only when your average contract value is way higher than average. And the third thing, it's quantity plus quality. And this is the new era of outreach. And when I'm talking about this, I'm saying that this is the right way of doing the outreach. And what I mean is that the quantity plus quality means actually 5 things. The first one, you have to have reliable and scalable outreach infrastructure, both with cold emailing, with LinkedIn, and so on and so forth. And the most important thing is that it just makes no sense whether you're sending cold emails or whether how personalized they are, or whether your LinkedIn outreach is so great. If tomorrow your emails are going to spam, or tomorrow LinkedIn bans your LinkedIn profiles, it all makes no sense, right? The second one is clear prioritization. The thing is that not everyone is ready to become your client right now, and you cannot generate clients out of people who are not ready, who don't want your solution right now. That's why our main goal is to combine the ICP and buyer persona fundamental understanding of the audience with the intent data and buyer signals in order to find top 1 or top 10% of contacts who are actually ready to become our clients. The third one, new era of personalization, something that will stand you out of crowd, something that will be different. The fourth one is clear data enrichment and orchestration process. The most important thing, you have to manage the data in the right way to clearly understand who you're talking to, who you want to reach out to, and so on and so forth. And the last thing, it all makes no sense. It's fine to start and run some cold email outreach campaigns only once, but if you want to have a repeatable process, you actually need to build the right system, including the CRM processes, including some data orchestration, including some KPIs, including some checklists and SOPs, and so forth. So those are 5 main steps. And let's focus on the main one. What is the quantity plus quality? In reality, it doesn't matter how personalized your emails are. I mean, if you just send emails to me and say, hey, Ilya, I know that your cat's name is Sonia, I will be, wow. But if you're selling me something that I don't need, I will always tell you, hey, thanks a lot for your email, but I don't need it. I really appreciate the level of personalization, but I don't need your solution at all because I'm not the right person. Relevancy is always way more important than personalization. Personalization is more like the nice to have, like a bonus step, and not the main one. Our main goal is to find the most relevant people. And who is the most relevant people? Of course, those who match our ICP and buyer persona. We cannot sell something to people who don't make decisions, or we cannot sell something like if you're targeting different location, of course. But also within that ICP and buyer persona criteria, a list of people, we always need to find top 1, top 10% of contacts who actually show their intent. They actually show show some signals that are actually ready to talk. Because usually this 1 or 2 or 3 or 5 or up to 10% of people bring us at least 50% of quality SQLs, sales qualified leads, from the whole outreach. At least 50%, sometimes even more. And when we are talking about all of these approaches, we usually mean this approach. Usually mean this this approach. So, and today we'll focus on all of those 3 things. On the first one, how to build the proper data enrichment search targeting flow. It's on the top side. Then how to build the anti-fragile cold email infrastructure. And the last thing, how to build the proper system out of that. Because of course it's totally great when you know how to use Clay, of course, or you know how to use Apollo or RB2B or some other things. It's all great. But unless you have a proper process and the system behind that, your actions might not be repeatable enough. So you cannot scale well. That is why we're going to talk a little bit more about the systems as well. Because my main goal is not just to share with you some growth hacks or tactics that are working today. My main goal is to give you the understanding of how to build the fundamental outbound systems. Okay, so there are 3 steps of the modern outbound lead generation. The real 3 main whales of the outbound Reinvented. The first one, it's anti-fragile outreach infrastructure. The second one, it's data enrichment and orchestration. And the third one is systematic and fundamental outreach process. We all know that anti-fragile outreach system gives us an opportunity to send emails predictably. Data enrichment and orchestration helps us to understand who we should reach out to. And systematic and fundamental outreach gives us an opportunity to make the repeatable process. Okay, so let's start with the data enrichment and orchestration. I feel it's one of the most important things. And let's focus on specifically right now on these steps, on how to find people, how to do the targeting, how to do the enrichment in order to figure out who is the most relevant person, how to work with different lists of people, how to personalize our outreach, and how to maximize every single conversation that we have. Let's focus on that right now. So I will be talking a lot about Clay right now. And my question to you, do you know what Clay is? I'm just launching a small poll and just tell me, do you know what Clay is? Just tell me yes or no, okay? There is a poll right now. And I am sending right now to everyone the link to this product. So just save this link. This is go.growthband.io/clayor. Please just go and yeah, I see that, okay, not that many people are actually, okay, know what Clay is, okay? Okay, I will explain right now what is that. Okay. So while the poll is running, and I'm gonna tell you already there that it's just less than 5% of people who actually use Clay, I will tell you what Clay is. So imagine I can ask you one question. What is the #1 tool that all salespeople are using? Of course, it's Google Sheets. No, you might tell me, oh, Apollo or something else, or oh, yeah, okay, Brain makes sense, or data mining or something else. I can tell you one thing. It's always Google Sheets. It's the basic tool that everyone is using. You might be sending cold emails through Apollo, or you might be finding, prospects on LinkedIn. It's just 2 different tools, but always it comes up to Google Sheets. And imagine what you're always missing with Google Sheets. 2 things. The first one, you are not the master of all the formulas and all those how to program there, how to ask Google Sheets to, divide some columns into rows, etc., etc. So Clay has the option for you. You can talk to Clay AI like to a human, and Clay will do and perform actions with the data you have in Google Sheets. And this is pretty cool, right? But if you go through, simple courses on Udemy on how to work with Google Sheets, you will know that, even without Clay. Okay, but it's still pretty great bonus. But the second thing, and the most important thing when it comes to Clay, is Clay provides with so many integrations with the tools that you're already using. Imagine you have the list of Google Sheets and you want to add some people or find someone's LinkedIn profile. What would you do? You would download, save it as a CSV file and then upload it to any of the tools like Apollo or whatever. But with Clay, it's just a matter of one click. So at the end, Clay is the tool with so many integrations and with a easy to speak, easy to operate, easy to work way. I see that, okay, I'm adding the poll. Oh my God, okay. There's so many people who actually don't know what Clay is, so it's fine, no worries about that. And I see that just a small, 8% of people who are Clay experts. Okay, it's fine. So the thing is that, again, here's the link to Clay. Just save it. No worries if you miss the links. I will send you all the links after and during the webinar. So no worries about that. But before Clay era, and why we're talking all about the outbound reinvented approach, because before Clay era, you always had to use different data researchers. You actually had to hire people to do data research. You had to use different tools, like from 8 to 10 different tools. You always had to switch between them. And moreover, you had to just save, upload, download the CSV files again and again and again and again. That was pre-Clay era. Now it's different. Now I say to you that you can implement the best, the most advanced outreach, data enrichment, and targeting approaches, even with 0 people hired. Or with 1 researcher maximum, with just 2 to 3 tools, and build a streamlined flow of data. The only problem with all of that is that there is a huge learning curve. So it sounds like an easy tool, but in reality, it's not. And we'll go through that today. So basically, Clay, it's like a Google Sheets with the ability to add different integrations and so on and so forth. And because of that tool, now we can actually implement such a flow. I'm pretty sure that some of you already saw that flow, but let me go through that pretty quickly. Our main goal is to actually, before we reach out to people, we need to check whether we are relevant to them or not, based on different criteria, such as whether they are hiring different people, or whether they actually fit our ICP, or whether they have or use some specific tools, or whether they have intercom on their chat, or something else, depending on our business. The second one, we have to find the decision makers and the list of decision makers. Then we work on the personalization, and only after that, we do extra level of hyper-personalization and hyper-targeted outreach. So let's go through that pretty quickly. Imagine we do have the list of people that we found on Apollo, Sales Navigator, or some other tools, right? We do have the list of people who fit and match our ICP. Our next goal is to try to identify whether those companies or contacts actually fit our ICP. Because imagine when you try to reach out to someone, you never actually know for sure whether there is a fit or match. For example, you can go, hey, and with Clay, you can use the AI scraping bot integration that will let you give the task. And the task will look like, hey, please go and visit this website and tell me whether this website is B2B, whether this company is B2B or B2C. For example, you're targeting SaaS companies. And it's super critical for you to know whether they are B2B or B2C, based on their pricing or based on their structure of this website and so on and so forth. And at the end of the day, you're going to have the list of companies with fit or not fit. So now you might also, on top of just basic criteria that you already have, whether the company has this amount of employees or that amount of employees, and so on and so forth, and so on and so forth. Now you can go beyond that. Imagine how, like, if you have 10 minutes to validate only one website to understand whether it's ideal fit for your business or not, what would you do? Of course, you're going to visit the website and check the things. And this is exactly what you can do with Clay. It's just the very, very beginning. Another thing, of course, you have to do some research, such as finding emails, finding LinkedIn profiles, and so on and so forth. And yeah, so I see some questions about the ICP, what ICP is. It's ideal customer profile. Thanks a lot, chat, for helping. Yes, I will try to use less specific words. So, for example, we need to know what is the email, or what is the phone number, or what is the LinkedIn profile, or based on something. So, for example, we do have the domain name of the company, and we need to find the decision makers and context of those decision makers. It's so easy and so cool implemented in Clay. What I mean is, you just have, by knowing only one thing, you can always use different integrations to enrich all of this data, their emails, their LinkedIn profiles, just like that. And the most important thing is, you can do this by using the waterfall system. And the waterfall system is basically when you try one tool to find the email address. And if it's not working, if it didn't find any results, it will go and try to use another tool, and then another tool, then another tool. So you maximize your search and your result. But it's all basic things, no worries. You can do all the basic things that you're already doing, just 10 times better and 10 times faster, okay? But the most important thing, why I'm talking about Clay and the integrations with Clay, is not the basic enrichment. It's not about how to find emails, because you already know that. Probably it's a little bit better, but it's not dramatically better. What I'm talking about, it's a dramatically better approach. So this is the relevancy check. We need to find, out of 10,000 of contacts we have in our list, out of 1,000 contacts we have in the list, we need to find top 1, top 2, top 3%, the best, the golden contacts who actually show the buyer intent and show different signals to us that they're relevant right now. So, for example, what I mean is, we might ask Clay to go and visit website and return us whether this company has any clients on the website, or the pricing, or what, if it's an e-commerce business, what is the type of the products that they're selling, or some other things, and so on and so forth. And for example, right, we can ask Clay Agent. This is a small bot that you can talk like to a human, and it will perform both actions, scraping and AI things, and will return you the results. So for example, you can ask Clay whether the company is B2B or B2C, find company clients, pricing, items company is selling, and so on and so forth. Imagine you have 10 minutes to validate whether the company is a great fit for you or not, and you will do the exactly same things. Now you can scale it. Or find companies, clients to analyze who they work with. This is the prompt for you. And no worries, you don't need to take any screenshots. I will send you the prompts and the deck, no worries about that. So just chill. Again, here's the tool. I see some questions in the chat, in the private chat. Here is the tool, right? So another thing, or you can ask Clay Agent to go and find out whether this company is working with the enterprise clients or not. Or you can also perform some analysis of the search. So for example, based per each client, per each contact in your list, you can ask this bot to go and Google the keyword, to go visit the website, figure out and extract the main keyword, and then Google by this keyword and say and return the position of this company with this keyword. Imagine I'm selling, I don't know, football shirts, and the clay bot will go and visit my website, take a look at what we're selling, then we'll Google it, and then we'll find my domain based on the search in a specific area. Imagine it. And so on and so forth. So you can do so many things to figure out what exactly the company is doing. And this goes way beyond your normal size of the company, industry, location, title of the person, and that's it. It goes way beyond, because of course, the just general information about the industry is not enough. Or for example, you can also, by using extra integrations, you can figure out way more information about the company. So for example, you can figure out what is this company using, such as like the tool set of this company, whether this company is using Magento or HubSpot CRM, or whether this company is running ads, and so on and so forth. For this, you might be using BuiltWith or any other integrations. We also have the guide on how to find out what is the tool stack, what is the tech stack of the company for free. And if you need this guide, I will send to you. We actually have, no worries about this. We do have a proper guide and a proper education on how to use this product in a super cost-effective way. Again, here's the link. Here's the link to everyone. So the next thing is that you can go beyond that. And for example, use some extra integrations such as Predict Leads or Google to figure out whether the company is hiring for specific roles. For example, you're selling SEO services, you're selling marketing, right? To startups. You do have a list of startups, you upload it to Clay, and now you want to see whether this startup is actually hiring for the SEO or the marketer or the digital person in their company. And if they do, this is a huge signal that you want to reach out to them and help them, because they A, do have the budget, B, they actually want and need this person right now because they are hiring. You can already reach out to them. Or for example, you can also add the extra GPT integration to figure out, based on the company's job description, you can actually, and your criteria, who you are, you can always figure out the probability fit. So what is the percentage of your offer to those people, to those companies, based on the job description of the person they are hiring? And so on and so forth. So all of those things actually show pretty great, signals whether this company is great for you or not. You can go beyond that if you're targeting SaaS companies. And I know that some of you are actually targeting SaaS companies. So you can always try, and you have the list of those companies, and you can always scrape the product reviews from Capterra, Trustpilot, or G2 in your Clay. And the most important thing, you don't want to just scrape all of those testimonials, all of those reviews. You want to take the worst, the cons, the negative feedback that people are sharing in public on those platforms about a specific company. And based on this negative feedback, you might prepare the personalization. And for example, you're selling software development services. You're reaching out to SaaS companies. You find out their top 3 last negative reviews, and you see that they definitely have problems with bugs. This is a huge point. This is a huge signal that you have to reach out to them right now. And of course, only one signal might not always show fully and tell you, yes, this company is relevant. Oh my God, so relevant. You need to talk to them right now. Usually, it's the combination of a few signals, combination of a few buyer intents. And if it's like a check mark, imagine check. And if check, it means it's only 1% or 2% or 3% of those companies who will go through all of those checks. That means that they are extremely relevant. So for example, this is a great example. If you're targeting e-commerce business, you might be using Clay, just uploaded. You might be using the integration with store leads in order to figure out all the information that you need about their shipping providers, about their name, description, type of products that they're selling, etc., their traffic, and so on and so forth. And then you can also use Clay Agent to enrich and add extra data to your list with the information of who the company is and what they're selling. On top of that, you can figure out what their traffic is or what is their website speed, all in just a matter of a few minutes, in just a matter of a few clicks. As a result, by using several tools, you can actually prepare automatically the audits for them, and so on and so forth. And imagine after that, once you prepare the audit, you can automatically generate those audits and send it to them. So this is how the audit looks like. It's personalized. It goes through their website, shows different things such as website traffic, SEO, and so on and so forth. And boom, it's 17 pages audit that you could create in a matter of just a few minutes to all relevant e-commerce businesses that you have. The most important thing that I want you to understand out of that is it is way more important right now to not just rely on size of the company, industry, and location, but you have to go beyond that and find that 1 to 10% of companies, golden context, who show amazing, who show that they're relevant, that they're great for you, that they're ideal client for you. You can always automate the flows, etc., etc. And at the end of the day, by doing all of those things, so what is our goal here? By doing all of those things, we're going to have a list of people, and we're going to have a clear prioritization. We're going to, out of 10,000 contacts that we're going to have in our list, we're going to have 100 amazing contacts, golden contacts, 800, around 800, great enough contacts who show some of the signals, some of the intents that they have, but not fully. And the rest, 90%, they're not showing any great signals. Our goal is to maximize the results and the conversation and the communication with the most relevant contacts. Of course, we're going to reach out to the rest, but those who show the best signals, those who we know exactly that we can help them, we need to maximize the conversation, maximize the results. What I mean is that top 100 ideal contacts, we need to use LinkedIn, email, high level of personalization, AI videos. We need to use all the growth hacks to get their attention. The rest, 800, is fine. We don't need to invest too much into that, but we'll still have to use LinkedIn plus email lead generation to maximize also results. But we don't have to invest too much into that because they are not that relevant. And the rest, we're going to use the emailing. Okay, but how to maximize the results, right? That's a great question. How to maximize the results? You have to actually use several channels like email and LinkedIn. Of course, you know that. You have to use AI video personalization. You have to actually try to level up your text personalization. And there are some other growth hacks to get their attention. By the way, while we are all, I will share with you, like, it's just no worries about all the things. One more question that I have right now for you, it's whether, okay, one more question that I have for you right now is, would you like to implement a systematic outbound process? So some kind of the things that you already see here, but I just don't know, probably. If not, it's fine. I could share with you some other growth hacks, but just tell me yes or no, okay? So the first priority, when it comes to the very first priority companies, right? We need to actually go with LinkedIn, email, we just maximize the results. And there are two tools that I would recommend. The very first one, it's reply.io, is the tool for the cold emailing process. Here's the tool, the link to the tool. And no worries, I will send you all the links to the tools with the promo codes. I talked to all of those tools, and they shared with me the promo code, so no worries about that. And of course, it's a pretty great tool for cold emailing. I would really recommend you, and I'm going to talk a little bit more about that. But the most important part is the LinkedIn lead generation. And when it comes to LinkedIn lead generation, I might tell you for sure that Xpandy, I'm sharing with you right now, Xpandy is literally one of the best products when it comes to the LinkedIn lead generation because of several things. It has a reliable software in terms of the safety, so you have way less chances to get banned and get marked as a spammer on LinkedIn. And B, it is pretty powerful, way more powerful than other platforms on the market in terms of features. Of course, it's not perfect, but it's still great enough to use the product for various of features, or various of cases. And one of the cases that we have here is that we have top 100 clients, top 100 contacts we need to reach out to. We know that they're great and ideal. We're gonna use and visit their profile. We're gonna endorse their skills. We're gonna like their posts. We're gonna reach out to them on LinkedIn. Then we're gonna reach out to them on emailing. We have to maximize all these conversations. But even more, we have to make those things even better. And when I say even better, I mean we have to stand out of the crowd. And one of the things that I would recommend you is go with SendSpark. This is a really great tool for the video personalization. So basically, imagine you're creating the Loom type of the videos, right? Where your face, the background, and on the background, it's basically people's websites or something else, or the websites of their job listings, etc. And you can do this all on scale. And to be frankly honest, by using SendSpark, you can always double or expect double the results, double reply rates, and so on and so forth. So here's the link. And the most important thing is that just don't worry. I will just share with you all the links with the promo codes. Okay. So I talked to all of them. They have the promo code, so they gave us the promo code, so no worries about that. All good. And yeah, the video presentation is so powerful. I highly recommend you to try doing that. We do have a few guides, and if you want, after this webinar, I will send you the few guides on how to actually implement the video personalization. But just believe me, it's one of the most powerful things that might happen to you. Then, and plus, it has the direct integration with Clay. Imagine you uploaded 100 contacts. In just a matter of 10 minutes, you figure out the best 50 of them, the most ideal contacts. And then in just a matter of few clicks, you are preparing and generating automatic and personalized videos for every single contact. So the video will look like your face talking to this person, and on the background, for every single prospect, it's going to be their website. Scrolling their website. It's so powerful. I highly recommend you. I do have a great article about that, but it's really powerful enough. So let's go. About the icebreakers, it also makes sense to personalize your outreach with the icebreaker, with the little text snippet that is going to catch their attention. And one of the best approaches that I really enjoy is you go and ask Clay to scrape people's LinkedIn profiles and check whether those people shared something on LinkedIn or not. And if they did, you're gonna take the context of their post and ask GPT or other LLMs to analyze this post and prepare the icebreaker. So for example, hey Ilya, I saw that you recently was writing about cold emailing. That is why I'm writing to you. Or hey, Helen, I saw that you were writing about your growth or your challenges with the SEO for your e-commerce business. We are basically the SEO company. I might help you. This is working extremely great, and I highly recommend you to use this specific approach. So the icebreakers, it's pretty simple. I mean, like we do have the prompts, and no worries, I'm gonna send you the promo codes. The promo codes as well, and the prompts, promo codes, the list of tools, everything. So no worries about that. And also, I do have the framework on how to prepare the icebreakers with different examples of the icebreakers and how to use them with clay or without clay. And if you want, I will send it to you as well. And as a result, your approach for the reaching out to people will look like this. You find people who match your ICP on the basic level. You find them on Apollo or Snovio or ZoomInfo or whatever, or on Sales Navigator. You add that to Clay. You find out all the, call their email addresses, you verify their email addresses, you find their LinkedIn profiles, etc., etc. All the basic things. On top of that, you go beyond those things and find all the triggers, all the different signals that show to you that this specific company fits your recipe perfectly. And then based on the prioritization scoring of those leads, you do different things. With the ideal clients, you send them personalized videos, LinkedIn outreach, cold emailing. With the priority number 2, those who are great enough but not ideal, you just go with LinkedIn outreach and cold emailing, but not that much. And with the rest, you just go with the cold emailing. That's it. The second one, it's all about, okay, we do have the list of companies that we want to reach out to, right? Okay, which is pretty great. But what if, who fit our ICP? But what if we try, I see some questions. If you have any questions, please ask me in the Q&A section, okay? We just click the Q&A and ask me any questions, okay? So the thing is that, but what if you want to find companies or people who already show some signals right now, the opposite way, like you want not to find everyone who fits your recipe and then figure out who shows some buyer signals. You want to go opposite, find those who show great signals and then figure out whether they fit your ICP or not, okay? So in this case, we might be using those tools like Apify and some other tools. So the thing is that you might go, for example, and scrape Indeed to find out who is hiring for SDRs or for engineers or for SEO specialists in specific regions. You get the list of companies who are hiring already right now, probably they published it today. And then you upload it to Clay to find out whether those who are hiring actually fit your ICP or not. The same happens with scraping, dynamic scraping of the product hunt, and so on and so forth. You can find so many different scrapers on this platform called Apify. And the most important thing here is that it is dynamic. Today, because this company launched on Product Hunt, for example, and you help early stage startups, this is the best day to reach out to them because they show the intent today. And so on and so forth. So it's just the example. You always upload them, and then you go through the same stages on Clay, but with one more step. The very first step, you need to figure out whether this company is actually fit your ICP, is actually a great fit or not, okay? Or the another thing is the website visitors. You can actually see who visited your website on the personal level by using tools like RB2B or Instantly or some other tools who will show you, okay, this person visited your website. This is a great signal to reach out to this person, right? Or if it's the US-based approach, yes, definitely. Or if it is the EU companies, you can always use tools like Leadfeeder and so on and so forth to figure out what is the company who visited your website, and then streamline this list of data to Clay, find out whether this company fits your recipe, and then reach out. Okay? Boom, it's so great, it's so easy. I mean, like you have two approaches. You find companies who fit your recipe, you add them to Clay, you find the ideal contacts, you reach out to them, maximize your relationships and your communication there. Amazing. Or the second one, you try to dynamically check every single day based on people's or companies' actions, such as whether they're hiring, launch on Product Hunt, visit your website, change jobs, etc., etc. Or this one, Job Tracker. You upload the list of companies, and whenever in your list of contacts, you see that some people change their job. That means two things. The first one, that if you're targeting, for example, head of sales, and the head of sales is changing the job, that means that this person will appear somewhere in a new company. And you can talk to that person again, but already with a new company. Or the second one, if people are leaving the company, that means that there will be a new person, a new head of sales. And the new head of sales is usually extremely great person to talk to. Why? Because this person has authority, this person has the budget, and this person usually wants to make some changes and implement some changes. So all of this lets us make a proper data enrichment approach. Of course, I just try to go through all of the things pretty quickly and try to touch them just on the high level, but it's just what we can do today. But it's not all. Just in a matter of 5 minutes, I will go and talk about the anti-fragile infrastructure and so on and so forth. But I do have one question. Can you please tell me from 0 to 10, how do you enjoy this masterclass? 0, you don't like it. 10, you love it so much. Okay. 10, 8, okay, 10, 9, 7. Oh my God, well done. Thanks a lot. 10, 8, 10, 7. Oh my God. Oh, so much, so many great. Okay, thanks a lot. I don't see anyone who hates this. Okay, thanks a lot. And the reason why I'm asking about that, and just in a matter of 5 minutes, I will show you the anti-fragile infrastructure. All good, because it all makes no sense if your emails are going to spam or LinkedIn is banning your LinkedIn content and so on and so forth. But before that, let me share with you one thing. I'm launching my advanced Outbound Lead Generation, Reinvented Lead Generation course. The reason is there's so much information that I want to share with you. And of course, I cannot share that in just like 1 hour, 1 hour and 30 minutes masterclass. And that's why we decided to build 8 lessons, like 8 life lessons, to share with you all the parts of the outbound lead generation, starting from A to Z. We're gonna cover all the foundation, all the ICP, the buyer persona, KPI, hypothesis testing, all the foundation, all the SOPs, all the strategic views on how to build and grow the lead generation from the very fundamental level. Then, of course, these all things make no sense if your emails are going to spam and your infrastructure is fragile. So we're gonna dive deeper into all these details on how to build a reliable and scalable infrastructure. And we will go way beyond just SPF, GKIM, and those basic things. We'll go way deeper. And the most important thing, we are not going to talk about how to stop one mailbox. We're going to talk about how to build the proper system, the whole infrastructure. The third model, we're going to dive deeper into the hyper-targeting and data enrichment. Today, I just touched all these topics just a little bit, but in reality, our main goal is to figure out how we can leverage different tools in the cost-effective way to find the most relevant companies, people to reach out to maximize our results with our outreach and outbound lead generation. The first one, we're going to talk about the different strategies on how to maximize the ROI. And here we're going to talk about the outreach systems, how to build it from the ground. Okay. The fifth one, it just feels like so many people, it's obvious for me how to write cold emails, how to write cold LinkedIn outreach messages. But I just figured out that so many people don't know the basic things on how to do the copyright. That is why I decided to have that as a separate lesson, to go through the copywriting and the art of copywriting. But the most important thing here, it's not only, my main goal is not only to show you some, here's the trick, here's the growth hack, how to write, but more like how to share with you the fundamental understanding of the outreach copywriting. So In 1 month, in 1 year, you know how to write. You know how to test different texts. You know how to do hypothesis experimentation with your text. The sixth one, it will be advanced personalization that will blow your minds. This is gonna be really, really practical and extremely, extremely growth hacking approach on how to stand out of crowd. So many things here, so many things that you don't know. I'm pretty sure. The seventh, it's all about LinkedIn, how to work with LinkedIn as the channel. And the most important thing here on LinkedIn is I know it from all the different angles after working at Expanding. And I might tell you that it's so powerful, but at the same time, you have to be extremely careful with so many different actions that you can do there. And we'll go way beyond content posting or profile personalization, profile optimization, so on and so forth. We'll go a lot deeper. And the last thing, the most important part of this whole course is the fundamental approach on how to build a proper outbound lead generation. So what I mean is these all actions, you can do them randomly and just run campaigns, do this, do that, bam, bam, bam. But at the end of the day, even if you get some results, you cannot do a repeated process. And here is the must see. It's extremely important lesson for all the sales leaders and people who actually manage the sales departments and the outreach teams. Okay, we try to go really complex and really deep into each specific topic. The start date, we're going to start in a few weeks. So the start date is November 20th. So we're going to have 8 modules and 3 Q&A sessions. And all of those lessons are going to be live. And you, of course, going to get access to the recording. Oh, good. The main focus here, the first one, is going to be 100% new approaches that you will not find on the internet. Things that we got after experimenting so many times and figure out what is the right formula of doing outbound and outreach. The second one, this is no basic things there. We're not going to talk and touch the basic things. We're going to go and dive deeper on a lot of advanced things in the most dive deeper way, with the focus on the practical implementation. Because our main goal is not just to share with you some theoretical things, but more about how to practically implement the things that we are sharing with you. And the third thing, which is the most important, is how to build a proper system and set of processes out of the things that we are sharing with you. I am sending you the tip. And as a result, it's pretty important. Our main goal is not to share with you the list of growth hacks or tactics. Our main goal is to share with you a clear guideline on how to build modern outbound systems. So you and your team knows how to operate. And the most important thing, with the help of me. So you can always talk to me and ask me how to implement those things. Let's move on. Today, we're going to talk also about how to build the anti-fragile outbound lead generation infrastructure. Why? Because it just doesn't matter how great all of the things that we mentioned. Again, like if you have any questions about the course, just go to this landing page here. The landing page, just go. And again, if you buy a plan, you're going to get access to a double A plan automatically. So yes, awesome. So how it just doesn't matter how personalized your emails are, how many contacts you reach out to, and how many follow-ups you send if your emails are going to spam. And that is why we're going to go dive deeper into the deliverability tool set and deliverability approach and how to do the things in a proper way, because it's extremely important. So today we're going to talk about all the parts of the deliverability checklist and how to build your infrastructure, starting from A to Z. But we're going to do this quickly because we have so much information and not enough time. So how emails become spam? Okay, the first one, email providers don't trust you. They think that, oh my God, you're a risky person. It feels like you're a spammer, so we don't like you. Or the second one, you act as a spammer, so you actually show different things different things on the different weird actions you just take, And the third one, people just mark your emails as spam. If you're not relevant, not personalized, you're a spammer, spam. All good. There are things. The first two things, you actually have a full control of that. Even if it doesn't sound like that, but you do have the full control of those things. And the third one, you have the partial control of whether people mark you as spammer or not. So let's go through all of those things pretty quickly. Today we're not going to touch any basic things such as, oh, please don't use the free Gmail account, or please don't use aliases, or please don't use the wrong tool set for cold emailing. All of those basic things you already know, okay? And the most important thing is we do have the checklist of the things that you have to do. It's all about buy high quality domains, buy high quality mailboxes, do a proper DNS setup, do and implement a nice monitoring, use a proper outreach tool and do the right outreach setup, implement the rotation of the mailboxes. So to keep going your outreach, even if you make mistakes, and do a proper checkups. So let's just go quickly. First of all things first, whenever it comes to creating the new domains, it's really easy because after, your youngest domains that you can buy right now will have almost the same durability as the domains that are 2 to 3 years old. So it's all great, no worries about that. Just feel free to buy those new domains. But the most important thing is that, okay, what type of domains? No worries, we do have so much information about that, a lot of details, but I just quickly want to go through all those things on the conceptual level. So the thing is that you buy domains, but after that, you need to buy the mailboxes and use either Google, Microsoft, or other ESPs, right? To start sending cold emails. And here's the question, right? Okay, whether you need to create everything on Google or everything on Microsoft. And in reality, Google knows way more about yourself when you're sending emails from Google. Imagine when you're reaching out to Google's mailboxes, like I am on Google and you're reaching out to me and you use Google mailboxes as well. Google knows who you are, Google knows who I am. And even if you use shared IP address, that is usually pretty spammy, shared IP addresses, for Google still knows that you're not a part of the shared IP address, which is spam. That is why your email will go to me without the spam filters. So it might be a little bit technical, but just believe me that if you send it from Google to Google, it's way better. Because Google knows way more about you. And you're not a no name. You're not anonymous, almost, for Google. And the same happens with Microsoft. If you're sending emails from Google to Microsoft, oh my gosh, there's so many problems that might happen there. So that is why we need to make sure how many and what type of the mailboxes we need to prepare. Because in reality, by using the tools like this, for example, by using reply.io, here's the tool. Yes, they're going to be the recording, no worries, Craig. And the thing is that by using tools like this, like Reply, or any other outreach systems, it's all fine. You always have the ability to do the provider matching. So for example, you have 5 mailboxes on Google and 5 mailboxes on Microsoft. And automatically, your emails from Google will go to Google mailboxes, and from Microsoft will go to contacts who are using Microsoft. Imagine how powerful is that? That is why we need to create both Google and Microsoft mailboxes. But how to do that? Basically, you can use different tools to figure out who is, out of all of the contacts you want to reach out to, who is using Microsoft and Google. And the most important thing, we need to figure out what is the percentage of those who are using Google and what is the percentage of those who are using Microsoft. And as a result, based on this proportion, we need to do the same proportion while we are creating the mailboxes. So 30-60 or 30-70, that means 30% of the mailboxes that we're going to use will be on Microsoft and 70 are going to be on Google. And this is the best setup. And for this, I would go with StepMail or any other, like there are so many other providers for the mailboxes, but the mailboxes for sellers. But the thing is that when it comes to the mailbox resellers, you can A, get a cheaper offer because those are official Google resellers. And B, it's also by default pretty easy to manage all of those mailboxes in one place. That's why I would go with that mail. Just up to you which one to use. But there are some differences between different providers, but I would go with that. If we don't go into so many details, I would dive deeper in the details on the course to explain you why and how to choose properly, but not today, okay? So DNS setup, here's the link in the deck. You're gonna find the DNS setup, like everything correctly, etc., etc. This is just the link to the guides of Google with that. But the most important thing with the DNS setup is the mark monitoring. Because DMARC, also, just believe me, you have to monitor and check your DMARC record every single week during the first months of the mailbox creation. It sounds a bit complicated, but just believe me that it's the best way to operate and build the cold email infrastructure. And on top of that, once you create all of the things, you have to warm up your outreach mailboxes. And today we're going to talk about what is a great warm-up solution and what is it not. So the great warm-up solution, and you know what is the warm-up? I guess everyone knows what's warm-up, right? So just tell me, do you know what the warm-up is? Just tell me yes or no in the chat, just quickly. So should I explain that or not? Yes. Okay, everyone knows what warm-up is. So basically, warm-up is when I send emails from my mailboxes to other mailboxes, and by default, those mailboxes engage with me. So they just open my emails, click on the links, reply to me, open the links, etc., etc. We at Lemlist were the first who actually created the LemWarm, this automatic solution back in the days, I guess in 2020 or something like this. But after that, this whole market evolved, and now there are two examples of the warm-ups. The first one, it's actually the normal warm-up, and the warm-up of the warm-up providers who actually use their users' mailboxes in the warm-up pool. And in this case, when you send emails to others, they are usually one of two things. The first one, they usually use Google because users are usually going to use Google mailboxes. So even if you have a bad vulnerability to Outlook or to Microsoft, you cannot really fix that because nobody is using Google in that basic warm-up pools. And the second one, imagine if you send cold emails to spammers. Would Google notice that? Definitely yes. And if spammers tell to Google that you're not a spammer, will Google actually believe that? In reality, no. That's why there is a premium warm-up solution. And here's the link to the premium warm-up solution. And the thing is that I would go with Folderly, and I know that Folderly is a bit pricey, but I will gonna share with you here's the list of tools. Here's the link to all the tools, by the way, with the promo codes. I added the promo codes there, so please use those promo codes if you need any of those solutions because they're all great. There are some promo codes for Expanding, Folderly, Replies, and Spark, and other solutions, okay, over there. So just go and check it out. But why Folderly is so great, or like this premium warm-up solution is so great? Because they manage the mailbox and the warm-up infrastructure on their own. That means that they set up and control all the mailboxes in the warm-up pool on their own. They don't have their users there. So the worst in case is that they don't have the spammers in the warm-up pool because it's their own mailboxes. They're not sending spam. And the second one, they do a proper rotation. So their rotation is not based on whether they have new clients or not. They always keep up their nice and great infrastructure for that. And the third thing, they have a nice proportion of different ESPs providers, such as Google, Microsoft, Yahoo, and others. So in reality, if you want to fix your vulnerability, this is one of the best ways to do that by using the premium warm-up solution. And here's the list of the links to all the tools and the promo codes there. So that is why I would go just with folder. So imagine that is a totally normal case. When you start checking your deliverability, you see that some emails are going to spam, and folder in a matter of weeks, sometimes during the months, can fix the problem. I couldn't see any great examples of other warm-up solutions right now. They say yes, of course, but not right now. I just saw that the folder is working. Others, I couldn't really see that it's working. There are no proofs, real proofs that it's working anymore, except folder or any other premium solutions. And the third thing, like one more important thing here, is the monitoring. We actually need to do the audits and the checkups of your deliverability every single day and every single month and every single week, actually. So for this, I highly recommend you several tools. The Inbox Insights. This is the Glock Apps alternative. So here's, or you can use Glock Apps or any other solutions, it's fine. But the most important thing is that you can check all the audits with your deliverability. In this case, this tool, like Inbox Insights, for example, is going to send a bunch of emails. We'll figure out whether your emails are going to spam or not, whether your emails are set up correctly, and so on and so forth, and return you the full audit. And this is so great. It's actually free. And the last thing, when it comes to the monitoring, this is the tool that I love so much. This is the tool called Pulse. And the Pulse tool is actually your ability to do daily checkups. So you will daily send emails to this dedicated infrastructure of the mailboxes and check your deliverability, whether your emails are going to spam or not to spam, and so on and so forth. And only if your emails are going to spam, for example, if your deliverability rate goes down below 90%, you're gonna get the notification and the alert in your inbox saying, oh, yeah, your emails are going to spam, be careful, and so on and so forth. It is so important to take the actions right away, because now you don't know whether your emails are going to spam or not. With this tool, you will know by using the indirect ways, by using their own infrastructure. And okay, some basic recommendations. Please do the mailbox rotation, no spam words, no HTML inside cold emails, at least in the first email. No caps, no color, no attachments, no links in the first email, no UTM links. And please check the blacklist and the limits of sending cold emails. All the basic things, please do and go through that. But there are a few more important things when it comes to not only how to prepare the cold email infrastructure, but also what is the proper tool set that you should use and what is the proper setup of within those tools in order to actually start sending cold emails. First things first, you actually have to choose the tool that has the Google API connection. Because, okay, there are two ways to connect your LinkedIn or your email account to the cold email outreach provider. The first one through the API, the second one through the SMTP. Let's take the SMTP. If you use SMTP, you, on the personal level, authorize and give the access to your personal Gmail or Google workspace to a specific provider without Google knowing that. Google is not checking that. In this case, Google by default doesn't trust this connection pretty well. There is a second one. Google gives the Google API access to send cold emails on behalf of the recipient. And back in the days, Google gave this API access to literally every single provider. It was almost free. But after that, it's so important for Google to keep great security and great reliability of this Google API. And that is why Google started charging and going and asking companies going through the security audit every single year. That is why if right now the company has and provides you with the Google API connection and not only SMTP connection, this is so great. And always use this approach. Statistically, you're going to have almost 30% better deliverability if you're using Google API and sending to Google mailboxes. So Yeah, that's one. The second one, it's unlimited inboxes. Of course, you have to be able to add different mailboxes and different inboxes within one infrastructure. The third one, you have to have an ability to set up the CNAME and custom subdomains and domains for your link tracking. It's so important. With no diving deeper in details, but it's so important. The first one, you have to use the tool with the unified inbox so you can manage the conversation and communication with different people from one place. Then you have the different separate reporting by the mailbox in order to see how are things working on different levels with different mailboxes. And the rest, and the last one, it's provider matching. You have to have the ability to send cold emails from Google to Google, from Microsoft to Microsoft, and not mixed, okay? So API versus SMTP, way better to go with the tools who provide with API. Of course, again, here's the list of tools, and please, here's the list of tools. Here's the list of tools. Please feel free to also use the promo codes. Then provider matching, also pretty important. As I told you, it's pretty important to send from Google to Google, from Microsoft to Microsoft. And I have a dive deeper in explanation of why it is important, but we don't have enough time. So here's just a quick example of, okay, how it's going to work. Then some insights, it's way better to use Google API, because if you use Google SMTP connection and send it to Microsoft, your deliverability rate goes down by at least 40%. This is the insight from the market. Let's say it like this. Also, feel free to set up a custom CNAME for link tracking. So important. If you don't know what I'm talking about right now, just feel free to tell me. I will send you all the guides. It's all great. And also, yeah, this is just the example of the durability. Your durability is just by 15% better if you have the custom CNAME on the link tracking compared to what if you don't have. If you don't know what I'm talking about, tell me. I'm going to discuss all of those things during the course, so no worries. I'm going to dive deeper into all those things, so you not only know how to do that, but you actually do this and you know how to act in different situations. So no worries about that. And of course, please don't track the opens. Right now, it's just no, big no's. Okay. Also, please use the plain text mode. So your emails will look like literally the same as you were sending that from the iPhone or from the mobile device. Just literally zero HTML. In this case, you will not be able to track anything, but you will be able to get the maximum in terms of deliverability. Okay. And how to fix that? If your emails are going to spam, the best way to solve that is by using the premium warm-up solution that easily fixes your problems. And when we talk about that, we usually mean, okay, so you can take a look at the left side. Okay, even if your emails are going to spam to Microsoft mailboxes, you can fix that in a matter of 1 month. That's maximum. Sometimes a bit more, but sometimes less. And if your emails are going to spam to Gmail or to Google mailboxes, it's so easy to fix them in a matter of a week. Here is the tool that I would recommend you to use that. Yes. But how do you know about durability if you cannot track any of it? You can by using Pulse, the free tool that will automatically send emails to a dedicated to the dedicated infrastructure of the mailboxes, and it will show you whether it's going to spam or not. So, okay. The next thing is that there's so many details about the Antifragile email, cold email, and LinkedIn lead generation infrastructure, but unfortunately, we don't have the time for all of those things. That is why let's just quickly go through that. Another thing, it's building the scalable lead generation systems. Guys, yes, you can run one campaign without the systems, without the processes, without the SOPs, without the clear understanding of what to do in what cases and so forth. And you can generate leads with that one campaign, but you cannot build the repeatable process. And when we're talking about you're a solopreneur, of course it is not that important for you. But what if you're a sales team who needs to generate leads constantly, who needs to constantly hit the sales quota. In this case, you have to build the scalable foundation of all of the actions that you make. And that is why you can set up one and run one campaign, but you cannot set up and run 100 campaigns. 100, like the second, the third campaign, the fourth campaign, the fifth campaign, it's so becoming painful to understand what's going on overall. Your whole outbound lead generation, if you don't have the right processes set up. And when we're talking about the processes, yes, I understand it is boring. It is, not cool. You have to spend time, you have to build the right things, and so on and so forth, but it is critical. If you just follow the growth hacks, they might work for a week, for a month, sometimes for a quarter, but they're not going to work forever. What you need to do is to implement the right infrastructure, the right foundation. And that starts from the strategic and fundamental things such as ICP and buyer persona in the right way, not from the marketing perspective, but from the sales outreach perspective. Then hypothesis frameworks, how to set up, how to check hypotheses. It's so important. Building a single source of truth. Just believe me, if you start building the proper system and you don't have a single source of truth for your outreach, in just a matter of 3 months, 4 months, you will not understand what is going on with your outreach. Have you ever contacted these people or not? Did these people still work for the same companies or not? And so on and so forth. Then you have to have the deliverability check-ins and the monitoring systems as the part of the system. Then reporting and how to work with that, and so many other things. Unfortunately, we don't have the time to go